Yes. Yeah. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. 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 Namaskar. Welcome you all. I'm glad that you are here today to know whether you are an ultra human or not. Welcome you all. And to understand, I'm glad that you are here today. What ultra human means. An ultra human or not. Welcome you all. Whether you can be ultra human. I'm glad that you are here today. If you are not ultra human means. What it requires to take you to be ultra human. Whether you can be ultra human. If you are not ultra human means. What it requires to. And what an ultra human can do. Take you different. To be ultra human. Whether you can be ultra human. If you are not. We are waiting for some more people to join in. Human can do different. We are waiting for some more people to join in. Ultra means extreme. Ultra means you are on the edge of something. Ultra means, and as a human, what are you? What is your edge? And where are we leading to? Ultra means you are on the edge of something. That is the point we are going to examine and look into this webinar. What is your edge? And where are we leading to? Ultra means you are on the edge of something. So let me start with the current scenario. Look into this webinar. What is your edge of humanity? So do you feel individually you are facing a lot of personal crisis? Do you feel there is a crisis in the financial aspect? Do you feel individually you are? Do you feel there is a crisis? A lot of personal crisis in the relationship. Do you feel there is a crisis in the? Do you feel there is a crisis financial aspect? Do you feel individually on the health? Do you feel there is a crisis? Do you feel the crisis in the relationship is pushing us? Do you feel there is a crisis? And we are at such a threshold. Do you feel there is a crisis? And do not know what to do. Crisis in the relationship is pushing. Do not understand what is happening with us. And we are at such a threshold. If you are keen to know, do not know what to do, and if you are keen to move forward, understand what is happening into the new direction, this webinar is for you. If you are keen to know, do not know, if you are feeling breakthrough, to move breakdown, understand what is happening into the new direction, this is the time you can feel breakthrough. If you are to give you that inner breakthrough, breakdown, understand what is happening to the new. Okay, I have been told that there is an echo, so I request the tech team to take care of it. Shri Vidya, please connect to tech team. Shri, please connect to tech team. Shri, please connect to tech team. Please connect to tech team. So this is a webinar for the. I'll wait for the tech team to actually sort this issue out, and I'll wait for some time. And meanwhile, we will. There are a lot of more people will join it. Is everything okay? Can I start? Please give me go ahead. Yes. Should I change it? It's green now. Okay. So I think all the issues, the crisis, the tech has been sorted, so we can resume. Can I? Well, wonderful. Chalo. So for whom this webinar is for? Welcome you to this webinar. Are you an Alta human? Currently, we are facing a very grave crisis internally. So crisis can be personal, crisis can be on the financial front, crisis can be on the health front, crisis can be on a spiritual front, crisis can be on a societal front, crisis can be on various subjects. But what the world, yes, crisis on the natural calamities, crisis on the environment, crisis on the how nature is falling apart, the environment is changing. A lot of new things are happening in the world around, and we are unable to perceive, we are unable to understand, and we are unable to move into any specific direction. If you are looking for that, this webinar is for you. If you feel the breakdown within yourself, externally, everywhere, then to find a breakthrough, this webinar is for you. This webinar is for you to discover your purpose. You may feel that you know your purpose. I will give you some new insight into the purpose, your own potential, your own powers. So you can go beyond. This webinar is for the people who are ready to go beyond their human state and go into the edge of humanity and ready to transcend into something very promising, something very potential, something very profound. This is the place for you to be in this webinar. And finally, this webinar is for you. If you are willing to leave some legacy behind, if you have that intention, legacy is not of the wealth, legacy is not of your knowledge, something beyond that. I'm going to present to you today in this webinar. In this webinar, you are going to discover what can give you more freedom, and you can achieve the state of breakthrough from breakdown, and how can you align with the consciousness, and everything about ultra human, that is beyond the finer aspect, beyond the humanity that you will experience in this webinar. So once you understand what this webinar, what the ultra human is, what will you gain? You can be the ultra human. And if you be the ultra human, what are the possible things that you can do with your ultra age that you will achieve? You will be leaders of change. You will be in sync with the evolution that is happening currently in the world. You will have more freedom, more choice. You will be in your right vocation. You will be expressing exactly what you are here to express. You will heal, repair, rejuvenate, and mutate as human beings. And if you are not willing to be an ultra human, then you can collapse in crisis. You can live in depression and distress. You can be living without real purpose. You will lose connectivity and get ready to extinguish. And get ready to extinguish without substantial contribution to the humanity. So let's start. My journey has started long back, and I wish to give you the insight into 3 incidences. In one incident where I accidentally met my master, and he gave me the powers, and he gave me the process through which I gained phenomenal powers. And I started realizing this power 7 years before, bit by bit by bit by bit by bit. And one day I happened to meet my another master, with whom I had a first experience of an enlightenment. I've spoken a lot about these 2 incidences, and many of you are here, they know in detail about it. But now I'm going to share the 3rd experience and what has made me to talk about the ultra human. Few days before, I gave a webinar on the lunar eclipse. And after that webinar, something phenomenal happened. And almost around 2 to 3 days, I was in trance. I was unable to connect to the reality which I am in. I was completely disconnected from here. Every time I close my eyes, I happen to go into the astral planes. And I have traveled tremendously in this few days, and to experience unsaid, inexplicable phenomena after the lunar eclipse webinar. Those who have attended, they know somewhere at the end something transpired. Now, in this, the current experience that I'm having is like everything for me. The time has changed. I don't experience the time that you people are experiencing probably, or the way I was experiencing the time. I'm not experiencing or feeling anything in the sense that when I'm speaking, I feel I'm speaking as if I'm writing on the water. In this process, I happen to visit some information about currently what is going through. Now, I did not go and search for anything. Things came to me, and from that, this concept of the ultra human came in. And that has, in a very short span of time, it just exploded within myself. And I had a new realization, which I'm sharing with you in today's webinar. So, why I felt the need to talk about the ultra human? One, I could now understand the consciousness and the movements of the consciousness. I was being aware, I was understanding. But now the with the precision and with the detailed realization that I've got after the experience. So I decided to put everyone or the people who are willing to be aligned with the universal evolution. And I feel that you can be the consciousness, and you can allow the consciousness to flow through you in a much greater expanded state. The purpose of my giving you this webinar is to create more of ultra humans and to create a system of synergy. We are connected, we have the connectivity, but we are lacking this synergy. And the purpose of the synergy needs to be more defined. So you will discover what the ultra humans are, what is the crisis of the consciousness, why this crisis has come, what can you do, how can you transform yourself and be with the consciousness in this, and how to be an ultra human. That's my intention of sharing today's webinar with you. So let us see where we are and how we have arrived here. There was nothing. Actually, there was nothing. It's in this universe, there was nothing. And then the consciousness decided to understand itself, and the consciousness separated itself, and the Big Bang has come into the existence. Now, we realized about the Big Bang few years ago, and we went back, and it happened all accidentally. So we could go through in the past to understand how the evolution has happened, how the Big Bang has happened. From the Big Bang, after many, many years, the first cell came into the existence. And from this first cell, we have become the primitive humans. And from primitive humans, we have become more complex order of the existence. The more complex order in the form of humanity into multi-cell, multi-organ structure, and with the more profound awareness, with more profound consciousness. Today what we are is the journey of 14 billion light years, 14 billion years. Now when we have come here, what is the crisis that we are experiencing? We are experiencing the crisis of the climate change. We are experiencing many species are extinguishing. There are many species have extinguished during the journey of the universe. Today the environment is collapsing. And to tell you something, very profound here is the universe and the earth in specific and the humans in more specific have experienced in the history 5 mass extinguish, and we are moving towards possible and probable 6th mass extinguish. I'm repeating this. We are heading toward 6th mass extinction. What would be this extinction? Who can survive this extinction? What is the role of an ultra-human into this process is what I'm going to explore today with you. In this process, if you can see the life just in few months, everything seems to be collapsing. And when this started, I had in one of the webinar like this, have said to my Divya Shaktiyans very, very clearly that old pattern of thinking will not work from now. But I very strangely finding people who are still stuck to old pattern of thinking, still stuck to past. They feel that the past they have lived is going to come back in the same way. No. It's not going to come back. So why this nature is doing like this? What is happening to the nature? So when we look at the nature, nature has a very innate purpose. Nature is not giving importance to the living human beings. It's not giving importance to the life. It doesn't mind that the extinguish happens or not. This crisis is leading to what? That may be the question in your mind. And when you think that why humans are dying, for nature it does not make any difference. For nature is not interested in protecting the species. When the other day when I read the report, there are kinds of birds that are extinguishing, the butterflies which are extinguishing, the number of species are extinguishing. And now I realize that why nature is not interested in, protecting the species. What nature is interested in protecting the purpose. So what is the purpose of the nature? The purpose of the nature is more consciousness, more freedom, more complex order. To happen this, the current order has to fall apart. And in the more complex order, the more love will exist. And this is a continuous progression which we are experiencing. Don't be surprised if in the 6th mass extinguish, all species are eliminated. Because that is not the purpose of the nature, to keep the species protected. We have reached to the stage of internet, cell phones, more connectivity, new production systems, robots, and the new communication. Now, what does this indicate? This indicates that the intelligence which we have, which is a repetitive in the nature, we have transferred it into the machine. It also means that there is a more connectivity which we are experiencing worldwide. And why it is so? Because in the crisis, what is the first need is connectivity. Imagine if your family is facing any crisis, what will you do? You will connect to all your family members. If something happens, what would you like to do? You would like to connect to the everyone in your family members. And that is what the nature has created for us. So the reason of connectivity is more to do with a crisis. And crisis is in various areas. Even on health, there is a crisis. Crisis is for blossoming of capabilities. But here we are not talking of an individual. We are talking of the mass consciousness. We are talking of the orienting towards the purpose of the consciousness. And in that, the current state that we are in needs a change. Many of females have all joined this webinar right now, and many of them are mothers. And as being the mother, you would definitely know very clearly the pain that you experience before giving the birth to the child is like a death, and it is a crisis. So before every birth there is a crisis. And for the consciousness, for this universe, it is a birth-giving process. So the crisis can give rise to the new birth. Now, who is going to do this and how it will happen? Let us understand. In the crisis, what you can do and how you can become the ultra-humans. The first role of an ultra-human in this case is stop complaining. Stop operating from fear. And we have come out of these kind of crises in the past as a humanity. So there is nothing new. And there is nothing which we do not know about it. We definitely know about this. So what this ultra-humanness will give us? We can be more. We move from complaint to capabilities. And we will be going in the direction of the spirit. The source. How can we do that? So the source, which is, we feel that the God or the source is doing things from the outside to us, and the in the life that we are living, there is somebody else is guiding us our life. It's not so. We have to say yes to ourselves. Yes for what? Yes for an impulse within us. The impulse of allowing the expression of that spirit, allowing the expression of the source, allowing the expression of who we are. And that impulse, the moment we say yes, the purpose comes in front of us and we start living towards that purpose. How did we reach at this point of this state of crisis? Is from the Big Bang. We have created life on the earth, then the animal life came and the human life came and the more conscious human that we are today now, but everything is collapsing now. So for the ultra human, the life purpose is creation, spirit, connecting to the source and living the ways the source lives. And this impulse can give you awesome powers. Just by recognizing this impulse within us, just by recognizing the inner voice within us and allowing that to flow through us, that can make us ultra human. There are more qualities of the ultra human which I'm going to describe to you. The ultra human can express their capabilities. They can live their heart's desires. How many of you, tell me, how many of you are living your heart desires? You are bonded, you are compelled, you don't have that freedom to live your desire. What will it take for you to live that desire? Just say yes. Just say yes. I'm willing to. And I want to live my heart's desire. How many of you are not satisfied in the vocation that you are in? Say yes, I want to express myself, and for that, what is a vocation that I need? How many of us are living the life only for ourselves, for family, for accumulating wealth, for accumulating things? Now, this is the time for us to not only see the problems that we face and provide the expression or the vocation that we are living, but we need to share the skills and capabilities of our vocations to the other vocations. We need to create the synergies of the vocation. We can't be living in isolation and only thinking about our way of doing things. And that synergy is necessary for us to survive and to move forward. This will activate the genius code within us. And when we meet with the people who are ready to activate their genius code and those who have activated their genius code, create the synergy in the group of those people. And this energy will carry the purpose of the consciousness. And this energy will take us out of the crisis and give the birth to new humanity, a new way of living. And what this new humanity, this new genius code, and the new way of living will contribute? They will contribute to the activation of planetary DNAs. They will contribute in activating the better world. They will create a structure of new society which is away from any political system, which is away from any religious order. And these new ultra humans will protect each other. That means there is no war, there is no threat of war, there is no fear of war. And this ultra humans will experience their deepest motivation. And they will be doing things in alignment of the universal purpose. The purpose of God. Probably they are living gods. So ultra humans are the humans who has not become God, but are away from the current human, selfish, self-oriented, wealth accumulators. I'm not against wealth accumulation. We need wealth. We need everybody to be wealthy. Support the humanity, support the health, create new system of health, create connectivity. This is possible only when you reach the stage of ultra-human. So if more and more ultra-human comes together, they can create planetary awakening in the law. They will have an intimate living system. They will offer better health. They will have a better space mission, not a competitive one. They will make an effort to connect to the other living beings, like aliens. I've been talking a lot about aliens. And this is the time ultra humans can connect us to the aliens and help in upgrading the humanity. The best evolution is the evolution that we know that we are evolving. Evolution of the evolution is the evolution we should be seeking. We move from depression to awareness. And we will be able to leave the legacy that we have come here for. Love more, create more, be more, and do more. So, ultra humans are the new creative leaders. Ultra humans are the agents of greater civilization and the greater evolution. Ultra humans are those who have activated the genius code within them. Ultra humans, they follow their heart's desires. Ultra humans say yes to their inner impulse. They're not bothered about the externals, outside, what they've been following, what was the trend that they were doing. They just say to the inner impulse. And this universe is what it is flowing through us. The God is within us, wants to come out to that impulse, and it gives impulses to us. And to recognize that impulse and saying, yes, that's all. You are on the path of being an ultra-human. Ultra-human will create better world. Ultra humans will care for others. Ultra humans will only think about the contribution more. It will uplift the planetary DNAs. It will uplift to the mass awakening. It will awaken the planet. It will heal the planet. More consciousness, more freedom, more complex order. And more love. The purpose of the nature they live, and that's the legacy that they leave behind. So this is what I say that the ultra humans can do. And at this point I wish to say one clear thing. I have created a program called Divya Shakti long back. And Divya Shakti offers phenomenal powers to human beings to make them realize. There are many Divya Shaktians are the part of today's webinar. I have invited them and I have asked them to be present, to tell them that they are the ultra humans. And there is only one step, the last step they need to take into fully becoming that ultra human is to say final yes to the impulse that they are living. They are fully prepared. And through this program of Divya Shakti, I want to offer a system. I want to offer a process. And this process can help you realize yourself much faster, much better, much quicker. This is possible only when I realized the new powers which universe has opened us for us, the power of black light energy, which this world is comprising of 95% of such energies, and we don't know anything about these energies. Luckily, my master has activated that within me, and that is what I activate in all of you. So one objective is to create more Divya Shaktiyans. They are the people who are ready to be ultra humans. But there are more ways to get the ultra humans activated. And I invite all of you, and I want you to connect to the like-minded people. I want to start some movement in this direction. What is that? How I will lead? What will happen? I have very small idea. The downloads has come to me, but still it requires more clarity. Now I understand and realize the meaning and the purpose of creating this Divya Shakti. Till now I was really confused about one thing, that I want to offer Divya Shakti to others, and why there are the people who are connecting to Divya Shaktis are struggling with their current life. Not struggling, inner peace they feel. They feel phenomenal. But the disconnect between the way of living, because I may ask, like, can I get more wealth? Can I get this? Can I get this? Before people joining in, they have some weird questions. I am offering something, activation of the black light energy. There is no experience of the people who have activated the black light energies within themselves, and what they can do, which I'm experiencing with myself for last 7-8 years. I'm still amazed. The other day when I was traveling to my associate Srividya's place, we had to go for a meeting. I drove around 1 hour plus, but I felt that I was there in just 5 minutes. And we had to go to some other place. I felt that I was just traveling for 2 hours and I'm not reaching my destination. For me, time does not exist. I'm just there. I'm just there, just there. When I'm speaking, I feel I'm not speaking. No, no, these kind of experiences is the beginning of something. And I don't want to keep these experiences only with myself. I want to share this with you. I want to give you those powers, those beautiful 65 powers of telepathy, of connecting, communicating with everything and anything. I want you to give the power of realization of whatever you speak. I want you to give the powers to maintain health your way. I want to open up more connectivity with yourself. I want to open up your whole brain, pituitary, pineal gland. I want to take you beyond the Kundalini. That is the objective of the Pure Energies Divya Shakti program. In this Divya Shakti program, you will get an opportunity to meet your ultra human self. In this Divya Shakti can be a very special one, which is happening in Mumbai on 24th, 25th and 26th. You can join in. To explore more of yourself. The humanity is going to come with enormous powers. All the 65 powers that I have activated to Divya Shaktiyans, now it's the time for them to own that power. Say yes to those powers. And that switch within themselves, of switch of yes, needs to be activated just by saying yes. So the ultra humans qualities I've already explained on how to become an ultra human. So to be in the path of ultra human, there are 3 simple guidelines. Say yes, follow your expression, care about other humans, and allow that spirit to flow through you. You will find your own purpose, the new purpose. The Divya Shakti program is happening in Mumbai. If you are not from Mumbai, wait for me to come there. And my experience says that Divya Shakti is not a kind of a program that you can attend. The energy of Divya Shakti calls you, and you will reach this program only if you say yes from within. The money cannot be an obstacle. The time cannot be an obstacle. Reaching out is not an obstacle. People have just crossed over and reached to this program. Every time I have experienced people reaching in. I myself get surprised many times about the way thing happens in Divya Shakti. Ultra is an extreme state, extremist. So you go on to one extreme of human self, and there the exactly the humanity starts. We need to collapse whatever we have been doing till now. We have to give up those things and say yes to be new humanity, the new human objective, the objective and the purpose of aligning our purpose with the purpose of the divine, aligning our purpose with the purpose of the God, aligning our purpose to the purpose of the nature. And the purpose is be more conscious. More conscious, more freedom, and more complex order. Because now, when we as a human, from a single cell to what we have become, it's a very complex order. So, tomorrow's order can be more complex. Be prepared for that. That will enhance more love. Let's do it together in a synergy. I rest my webinar here and I open for the question answer session. I know I have been seeing a lot of comments, but trust me, I could not concentrate. I had to make a lot of efforts to write down the points which has come to me in the downloaded states, because now it's very because this I cannot process the time in the way I am. If you ask me to talk anything with a closed eye or just extempore, spontaneous, it's easier for me. But remembering all this, whatever has come or whatever the context that I have referred to and created this idea of ultra human, that I had to refer certain notes to give you the presentation. So I open the session for the question answers. There is a link given for you to come and join the Divya Shakti, or just say yes to the process of allowing that impulse and living your own, as per your own inner voice. That's the voice of the source. That's what source wants you to do. And that's how the source is taking birth through you. And that is why you are experiencing huge crisis. And crisis is something which is a pain before the birth of new humanity, before the birth of ultra humans. Specifically in what Divya Shaktiyan has passed through the all the stages of becoming an ultra human. They have passed through all that they have been living. The final yes they need to say to, and to do that process, I will come specifically for the Divya Shaktiyans in one webinar, and then I will guide you to that final yes, that how can you activate within yourself. I'm opening it for the question answer. If there are no question answers, I will rest my presentation of this webinar. I'm glad that so many people have heard me today. I'm glad that it's a very good beginning. It's the baby step that we have started with, and I'm sure this concept or this idea will explode and expand with the help of the people, and will with the help of the people who wants to say yes to them, with to their powers within. So I'm really grateful to you for participating in this lovely souls who are being the part of this new idea that I have put across to the people. And as there are no more questions, I feel that we shall conclude this. Mohit, if you say that you are stuck overseas, it is the time for you to say yes. And you will see people have, I have done the Divya Shakti in the lockdown itself. And nothing can stop. Trust me, if you say yes, nothing can stop. But it's not about, just make an intent. Divya Shakti can reach to you, Archana. You have to say, it is the beginning of certain ideas that I'm presenting to you. So just be the part of the group. Just be the part of this communication. I will give you an invite, and we can start some movement. Be in touch till the time you attend the Divya Shakti. I shall be I shall be guiding you in this process. I'm not going to leave only with a thought or an idea that okay, ultra humans are there, and this is not my only one of the webinar that I'm going to do on the ultra humans. I'm going to present more of these such ideas which I have in my mind. So this is just a beginning. It is just a starting of an idea. Okay. There's a lot I want to do on this topic. It's not about the tag of an ultra human. It's about the ultimate idea of we are doing something in the synergy. We are moving from the current crisis and how we can support each other. What is the support system that we can develop and create? And I'm sure that if this is my purpose, that for my this purpose, the as I was pushed to say yes in the from the last lunar eclipse to 3-day process that I went through, and these ideas were given to me. Definitely, the consciousness will take it forward. Archana, it is possible for you to come out of the path. Okay? Just drop it. Just leave it. Just give. Don't start giving energies to those thoughts. Don't even look at the past. Don't even focus at that. Look forward. Look forward. Do not allow the experiences of the past to intervene and come in your way. You follow your heart's desire. What is your desire? What is that you want to be and become? Not the money is not a desire. Money is a byproduct of the expression of the desire. And the money challenges comes to you only because you are clinging and holding so much of your attention onto money. It is an excessive focus. You need to move your focus from that point and focus on your vision, on your beingness, on your inner expression. Deepa, thank you for expressing your desire to be the part of the second time in the Divya Shakti process. Get in touch with Sri Vidya, she will help you. Divya Shakti cannot be an online training. It is something you require a personal interaction. I am going to activate a lot of powers within you. And in that I give you 90 days of hand holding. You may not be able to deal with your powers for the next 90 days. And I'll get you tuned to your powers. I thank you all for part of this wonderful webinar and to new thought, new idea, new concept that I've presented today, the ultra human. And I wish that we can stay connected. I will devise some system. I will communicate with you. You can join in more people. You can circulate this webinar. I will send you the link where more and more people can be aware. At least that synergy we can start creating and giving the ideas to the people about the ultra human. So slowly I will be coming up with new thoughts, new ideas, new way of dealing things as and when I get the guidance and whatever guidance that I get. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm stopping this uh, telecast now.